We got 2 seconds, Stripe Crow.
Okay.
We're on. Welcome back, guys. We just saw the first match. It was a pretty good match. What do you think?
It was pretty good. I think we got unlucky.
How do you feel about the teammates consolation prize? Do you think it's appropriately sized?
Oh, definitely. I think it's cool. It's nice to get everyone into the game instead of just I'm out.
The top 4.
Yeah,
Are the other
I
ones
actually
scaring?
think like a lot of tournaments they lose your tournament wants to climax at the end, right?
Yeah.
So. And a lot of tournaments, what happens is as people drop out, it gets like less people. So it turns out that finals is not that exciting because everyone's like kind of done already. And
most players end up being kind of
exactly.
just watch and talk.
Cool.
Whereas here everybody's involved in the deck building, the deck piloting. So Trump and Orange, I would say, are the two most determined players to win this. Like Orange is definitely highly competitive. Like I hadn't realized how much he would care about more of a laid back event, but he's been doing his best. And Trump, well, you know the guy.
Trump.
It's just
Trump. Always that value, right?
There's
always more value in winning than losing, so naturally Trump wants. That's how he lives his life. Basically.
So it turns out Aggro Shaman
Trump
is also a pretty good deck in this format. You don't lose too much. The first place got to pick whatever they wanted, right? Out of the picks, 2 decks they got to pick. In this case, they went with I think Shaman and Priest.
I actually like Shaman in this format because Shaman doesn't actually have a lot of minions that are the same toughness and health. In fact, I can't think of any.
That's what I was telling Reckful earlier, right? Like it's probably one of the classes that just like you play 3/4s on 3 because they're good. They play Totem Golem on 2, and you're out of it because you can't just develop better minions on 3 and 4.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of the minions that you play in Shaman probably aren't weak to too much. But this is a matchup where Shaman was kind of built to beat the new Paladin lists that were trying to run secrets. But being the challenger is not playable, it's going to be more of a highly aggressive Pally. We're going to see a ton of abusive Sergeants and Leper Gnomes.
Definitely. So there's going to kind of be some. Chakki is the Shaman, right? So yeah. Chakki. Yes, either.
Chakki's the Paladin player. Trump is playing Shaman right now.
Okay, so Trump has to either, be mana inefficient here. And just Rockbiter or Lightning Bolt, or otherwise he has to go for Flame Juggler.
Yeah, do you ever worry that, because if you play Totem Golem, do you ever worry, because there's no muster coming out, right? Like there's no mini bot as well. So the worst case scenario would be what? Flame Juggler / Creeper?
Yeah, it's actually, the more thing about it, there's no way I ever play a spell here. I can go for 50/50 Juggler, or I can go for Totem Golem. And even if you miss, since there's no muster on this turn, then, what's the worst that can really happen, even if Juggler survives?
Right, since there's no mini-bot either.
Yeah.
Well, that could get really bad. We'll have to see what comes out, but if the trade from the Juggler goes into the Finley, and then the Flame Juggler hits the 2/2, then, you're forcing a trade either way, and you're head on board at that point.
Yeah, missing is a big deal, but I would still take the miss over playing a spell there.
Yeah. Could you play Haunted Creeper?
I think that...
Because you probably will get traded into, regardless, with both minions, right? If you kill the Finley.
Yeah, I kind of...
It's interesting, right?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting because there's not a huge incentive to play Haunted Creeper here over Flame Juggler because there's no real spells that's going to come out to kill Flame Juggler for Shaman. I guess for the most part, and it just does more damage for the most part.
Yeah, but the only upside I guess is Creeper doesn't get punished as much by Totem Golem, but Earthshock punishes it more. So this is actually a great turn for Trump. Picks up a way to trade up, and also develop the...
Yeah, I mean, abusive, you can abusive the 2/3 and then just kill Juggler with the spell.
Yeah.
But that's kind of mana inefficient, and you don't get to develop the Totem Golem.
So spell plus Golem would be your
And also
gut
there's... I mean, leaving a 2/1, the problem is that Muster for Battle is a big part of the range on turn 3.
So, we didn't really talk about it, but, like, they took the Priest hero power instead of life tap?
Oh. Okay, Trump actually goes for a play where he leaves up both 2/3s instead of just trading off the whole board. As is for what happens for Trump here, it turns out a little bit better for him. It's just weak to Master of Battle the way he played.
Right. Well, we were talking about the juggler ping mattering a little bit because you get better trades earlier. This is pretty much the scenario where if the juggler from Trump had been at 2 health, it would have been a really big deal, and it would have probably affected the way he played the turn. But given that he got it to live, he can actually extract a ton of value out of that hero power now. Like the priest hero power with the high health minions is ridiculous.
That's true.
Like it is pretty silly
Yeah.
that this is even happening.
Part of this is, as the shaman, you need to decide a point in the game where you kind of stop trading goal face.
Yeah.
And this seems like a little bit too early to do that, especially with this hand and the priest hero power. I kind of expect Trump to. I actually kind of expect Trump to just heal his guy and just go face.
Okay.
but at least still, like,
okay, sure. I'm like, okay, so heal and then double trade, but then consecration punishes you a lot, like a lot. Consecration is a nightmare. Muster for battle is a nightmare. So it's either you play 2 minions and go face, or heal and go face, one or the other. But consecration here, if Chakki plays it, would be insane.
That was a weird trade.
It was probably the weirdest of them because right now the juggler with the trait and the creeper popping gives him probably a perfect board.
That's 3 pings this turn.
Yeah, no, it is plus the damage from the creeper, of course, which will likely, clean up everything down to 2 minions. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. But we already saw one juggler, right? Do you play around the second one if you're Trump? No. I don't think that's necessarily correct.
Yeah, can't rate power and everything.
Well, the priest hero power is
Okay.
not doing much. Chakki's laughing.
I think it's pretty much.
Do not say that. There are no cards. Divine Favor is a dead card, and Earth Shock would negate Blessing of Kings.
Okay.
It doesn't take much, right, bro?
Yeah.
All it takes.
Doomhammer 16 damage, right? And Leper Gnomes too, so
Yeah.
pretty much is lethal.
If with 1 card. That sounds balanced. Oh, that, however, will complicate things. Yeah. Little Shredder guy.
Yeah.
Well,
I like this trade. I'd probably Shredder over Kings just because of our shock. I mean, you're getting the same kind of the same amount of damage either way because Kings like over 2 turns are getting the same amount of damage, right?
Dr.
Unless it's
Shredder.
lethal immediately, but
Crackle? Probably just wait to use it. I mean, the priest hero power is buying Trump a weird amount of time here. It's surprising.
yeah. At this point, I would. And I mean, it depends. Like, because King over 2 turns, Shredder and Kings is the same damage. If you play Kings first, you play Shredder the next turn.
The next
it doesn't
turn,
charge,
right.
So, but then this is getting to the point where you just it's too close.
You are forcing again the same, like the Earth
Yeah.
Shock if it comes
Yeah.
out, and if it comes out, then that means he's probably not going to be having any more answers. So this is looking to me like a Hail Mary turn for Trump, unless he picks up something crazy like Elemental Destruction.
He needs to Doomsayer this.
Yeah, it's going to be a Hail Mary. There's really nothing else.
Alright, so here it comes, Doomsayer.
At least Crackle is guaranteed to kill this. And nope, that is a River Crackle is.
He's not dead, technically.
Yeah, on paper he lives.
Still.
I mean, the fact that he has 0 cards in hand makes this Divine Favor really
play around
awkward.
Divine Favor. That's not a misplay. He doesn't want to play the Shredder for the
For the Doomsayer.
Doomsayer.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? The only way I lose if the Doomsayer comes out of this.
Yeah. It's gone to this point.
That is amusing. And Rockbiter will, however, not do much. Okay, so Ebola didn't take it. Can we call it Ebola then?
Yeah.
Are you
Bolan's
offended?
actually very good against Face Shaman.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Zoo. Face Shaman's pretty good at rushing down slow decks because you give him a lot of time to, like, just Ancestral Knowledge and Doomhammer. But against these fast decks, like, I think the worst matchup for Face Shaman is actually Zoo.
It's
And
got to
this
be
deck
one
is
of the
very
toughest
similar.
ones, yeah.
And this deck's very similar to Zoo, right? So Paladin Zoo. So.
I mean, the fact that Divine Shield is... I mean, the mini-bot not being there,
Yeah,
however, is a
yeah.
really big deal.
Yeah.
But the fact that you can just probably punish some of the more mid-rangey decks.
Yeah. So now we have a Priest on Trump.
And Shaman on Chakki, which has the Tunnel Trog in the opening hand. Trump with the Light Bomb, Nova, Cleric. Would you keep...
Here
Everything but Light Bomb?
I would not keep Holy Nova.
Really? Okay.
Especially with Northshire opening, you want to go for a lot of times with the Velen's Chosen a lot,
Sure.
or a Powered Shield, something like that. I might even consider dropping Acolyte against a Shaman
because 3 damage
it's
is
very
really
fast. Yeah. Okay.
Northshire is the only prime card. I thought Nova was actually acceptable because you very often end up needing it, but this
He has
is
the
a
Velen's Chosen.
much better start.
Now he has the Velen's Chosen, and this is what you always want as priest, right? 1 drop into coin Velen's Chosen. If you're 1 drop and survive, which we know it's not.
You might play 2 1-drops if you want to guarantee that you don't get pushed out by 1 bolt or 1 rock biter. But the payoff is actually pretty small.
Yeah, I would definitely say that, especially drawing Acolyte. If you get rock biter here, probably just coin out the Acolyte at that point.
Yeah, and the Doomhammer as well is not going to be a big problem. So if you can get that out.
If you coin 2 1-drops, and even if you just rock biters one, you're not going to be able to Velen's Chosen the other one anyways, I guess.
Right. It's just like you get card draw of the Northshire, and that's about it. If it lives, which it likely doesn't. So the Acolyte is looking pretty tempting because you only get punished by Feral Spirit.
Yeah, he might actually go for
Lava Burst.
He might actually just go for Northshire Cleric because they're on board. It's equal. They're both 1/3s.
And you keep the coin.
And you keep the coin with Cabal.
Oh my God! Back to back Cabal 5/6.
Yeah, maybe it's a little too slow.
I don't know. It's an interesting consideration because now if you're Chakki, you don't want to let the Acolyte draw more than 1. So you have to attack into it, which mitigates damage for now. And that sets up a Nova if you pick 1 up in Trump's position.
Yeah. Trump needs to pick up some board clear. I mean, there's... Oh, so now he has Soul Priest. That's going to be his best bet here.
Northshire, heal the Trog. Find that circle of healing. That's the only play I could see, because healing yourself doesn't do very much.
Wow, yeah, okay.
Yeah, like if you heal your own face, I don't think...
that circle.
Doomhammer found an answer! But it's not there, so...
Yeah, looking. Well, I mean, this is looking bad for Trump, but we know he's just 1 circle away from.
1 circle. I almost want to say 1 Nova. Like he's not that far off because.
I think Nova might be a little bit too slow.
It depends what happens with this Trog, right? Like, what do you do here if you're Chakki? Do you kill the Northshire? If so, how? Do you trade Lepronome? Goodness. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Nova's fine. You don't care.
Yeah, now that he healed.
Yeah. I lied.
I actually think... Okay, so I think if he gets the circle this turn, he could probably stabilize, but starting from the next turn, it might just be too late, because after taking all this damage in, I'm assuming that Feral Spirit's going down for the 5 attack.
Shadow or Death can kill it, but you're probably in... I mean, you can Death and then Cabal the Wolf, and then Cabal the Wolf, but...
During all this time, Shaman's doing stuff too.
They are drawing, right? So. They are playing cards, they're drawing, they're dealing damage to you, so...
Doesn't even play.
Oh no, it's the last bastion of defense is the Salkanai. He's like, yeah, if I don't top deck...
Okay.
Excavated Evil, what if it's there?
Maybe.
What if?
I think he's still trying to get the circle for next turn at this point, I guess.
Yeah. Chakki knows that there's no circle with Alkanai. It would have been played. Nova is not that big of a deal. You've got so many 3 health minions.
Yeah.
So now it's all about how you conserve this board.
I can see Chakki playing potentially 2 1-drops instead of Feral Spirits. I'm not sure.
So 2 1-drops. I mean, I might Totem to get spell damage. Why not? As a setup. And if Nova hits, then I play Feral Spirit to buff the Trog. Because if I play Feral Spirit here and there's nothing else, then Death at least is a usable card.
Yeah.
So enabling Death may not be something you want to do. Oh, spell damage. Trogs feel pretty broken here.
He just wants to have some kind of plays after a board clear potentially.
Right.
So if he gets cleared, he can still play Feral Spirits up in there.
That is not circle from Trump's reaction. Indeed.
Indeed, sad boys.
That is a pretty miserable priest match. For a matchup it's supposed to be fine against. Deathlord is even playable in this format.
Yeah, I think we probably did have Deathlord in his deck.
Right. Well, I mean, he's gonna have to win with that afterwards.
Yeah.
Can't feel good.
And people love Deathlord and Priest, especially with Entomb and Light Bomb and Velen's Chosen.
Yeah. What a
Some perks.
great card. I mean, the thing is, like, what I love about Deathlord is what it does for the meta. What I hate about it is facing it when it's, like, Valence Chosen. It's such a feel-bad card, right?
That's
It's
how you
like,
get blown up
it's
the
such a
easiest. Yeah.
feel-bad
So many
card.
decks you get Deathlord Valence Chosen, and then you're just like beating on this 4-12 the whole game.
And
They just keep healing
if you
you.
silence it, you're like, I haven't solved anything. Like, I'm still dealing with
Yeah.
a 2A that the priest keeps up forever. So it's going to be the zoo from Chakki against Trump's entire lineup at this point. Trump has to win with everything against Chakki's last deck, and it's going to be zoo.
So it seems like people are mostly running doing variations of Zeus, and CJ has gone from this format. Chakki has double Shredder as well. That's kind of unusual, but you know he does need to replace some cards.
Void Callers, where are, like, they must be in there, right?
Yeah.
They have to.
Like you can't use what's the card?
Peddler,
Boom. Yeah, you can't
Peddler
use
and Boom
Peddler.
are gone, so
Mhm.
that's a big deal. He keeps one Shredder against the priest. That's a very good hand there. Chakki knows how to mulligan just right.
Keeping a Shredder is actually pretty smart because some matchups with the coin you'd want to keep 2 Shredders, but again, Z you want to curve out early, and you have a lot of 4-drops with double implosion as well, and
That's right.
so like keeping 1 Shredder is a good compromise. You get the coin Shredder a lot, and Shredder's so good against priest, being a 4-attack minion.
Yeah, and the hand that he picked up actually lets him do that. Now, Trump found the Zombie Chat off the top, has the Powered Shield to keep it alive, and the Death Lord. So Chakki is gonna have a lot of trouble going through the minions, and I think 1 Valence Chosen would be sufficient, because what Circle of Healing does in this matchup is just like an early game heal. By, like, on turn 3 or 4, you heal something that you have if you're already ahead on board, and they never go through it. It's either that or you clear with Alchemy later, but very often you can just heal a Deathlord back.
It's a very safe play by Chakki. He decided to make this play so that he doesn't get blown out by something like a Powered Shield on the Flame Imp.
Yeah.
This will basically give him a power overwhelming target to clear the early minions here, because, well, maybe not.
You might do it though, right? Would you do it? I mean, the Flame Juggler kind of works in a similar manner. If you hit, of course, and
There's no
like,
way he's playing PO here. I think he's
Yeah.
definitely playing Flame Juggler. I feel like even if you get Valence Chosen here, you still have the PO for that.
you might Flame Imp actually. Just Flame Imp and pass.
Flame Imp and pass and then Flame Juggler.
Like, what does it? What does it lose to that it didn't before? I guess the only thing is like Wild Power Chill in this case is going to be devastating.
It's just Juggler has a chance of killing.
I feel like you have to get rid of this before Valence Chosen comes out. But Flame Juggler dies to Valence, and then you can PO and play Flame Imp or tap.
Oh, unfortunate.
Uh-oh. The assassin, the board is gone. Goodbye, Chakki.
This is gonna be crazy, yeah. Power Shield clears the.
Oh my
Oh my
god! No, you
This
can do
actually,
it.
you-
This is insane.
Can you do it?
Yeah,
Okay,
you play Wild Power Northshire, then you just... Oh, you're missing a spell.
Yeah. You,
So
do
you just
next
play
turn.
Deathlord then. You
do
play
next turn.
Deathlord.
No. You play Pyromancer Powered Shield on a 2-3 trade. Next turn you go for. Wow.
No, you just Deathlord here every day. You Deathlord every day, and you just draw 50 cards on turn 4. This is so insane. What a roadblock.
Yeah,
What a
I'm really
roadblock.
surprised at that play because he gets to clear the entire board the other way and still gets set this up. He's basically this is pretty safe, but if Chakki had like an abusive as well as a PO, he could actually get through.
Yeah, that's a very specific combination, but it happens, right? It's not unheard of. Look at the turn that Trump's gonna have. Can you even believe this? He's gonna pop the creeper. Oh man.
Yeah, there's so much value here from the Pyromancer. And how many cards is he gonna get from this circle?
I
Pyro?
don't even.
It's gonna be a lot of cards.
Yeah, but Chakki right now is like, all right, am I dead?
I think he's gonna get 3 cards.
I think Chakki
Maybe
just
4.
concedes, unless he wants to get information, right?
Maybe 5 actually.
No, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous.
So what do you?
You power
Shield
shield the
here.
flame juggler, obviously, right? For more card draws, it never dies. This is amazing. 5 cards,
Is that a miss?
and he might pick up another circle.
I think I would have traded first and then. I guess you get a card.
You get a card draw, and you can keep
Okay.
the Deathlord very healthy.
I actually don't think of it.
I mean, I was gonna say like it might be a slight misplaced Reckful,
Okay, it's
but
a-
in like how many times out of Like 100, does it really matter?
Yeah.
Chakki right now is like, yeah, if Shredder carries, maybe.
No. It's not-
Chakki basically like in
It's
these
not.
spots, Chakki concedes very often.
Mhm.
So
He could have saved the Shredder tech from Trump.
yeah.
Just don't even show the
He just,
Shredder.
oh, well, nice job. He's not showing. And
That's pretty smart. I like it.
yeah.
Because Shredder is not exactly something you always expect in Zoo, and he has Shredder in his Zoo. Even if this format's good, not everyone thinks about what could be in every deck, so
Yeah.
you can surprise someone with the Shredder.
So there's a rogue left and a shaman for Trump. Shaman against Zoo is going to be a bit tricky, given that he's trying to play aggro. Technically, like in some like instances, it's amazing because it gets with a hand like this, it might just be amazing. But if you get thrown off the board and you can't clear it, then it gets
Yeah, I
difficult
find
at times.
oftentimes that it almost doesn't even matter what Shaman's opening is. If Zoo has a good enough opening, they'll kind of just blow you out because there's no opening that's possible that can really contest Death Rattles into buff minions, right? Like abusive and power one. Because you can't just nuke the Death Rattles like eggs. You can't just kill them for the most part.
Yeah, and you almost don't want to bother. I've seen a few people try, but every time it's like they end up missing out on what 5 to 6 damage to face to win, and so you kind of go all in on these hopeful.
Basically, if you have Death Rattle openings into buffs, there's not really a lot of counterplay you can have with the Shaman deck.
Yeah, but this Fire Blast is good. It's going to help clean up a lot of the things that a Zoo player might want to do. I'm sure you'd prefer life tap. It depends what the deck consists of, though. Like, we don't know what is in Trump's deck exactly. The rogue left, if the shaman takes it, is going to be something of a coin flip depending on how proficient Trump feels with the deck list. Him and his partner, of course. Orange. I think Orange is plays more rogue than Trump.
Orange definitely plays more rogue than Trump.
There's literally no Trump rogue highlight that I can recall.
I don't think I ever remember playing seeing Trump play rogue.
Yeah. It seems a little bit out of character.
Yeah. See his decision between rock buttering this, because that'll kind of protect his Leopardome from the 1/1s or the 2/1s, or just playing out both minions here.
I like Tunnel Shog here, just because the way that it works is if there's an abusive, he's got to pick what he wants to do with it, right? You were talking about how difficult it is to beat a buff opener as Shaman, and this is exactly what it plays around. You're forcing the opponent to have the abusive and a 1-drop, and you can ping the abusive, which you're very happy with. And if it isn't there, then you're, more than happy with it. Okay. Might look like an overreaction, but we know better.
Yeah, there's not very many power rolling targets in Shaman. Like the biggest minions are going to get are 3 or 4 anyways, and I mean you definitely want to do that. Wow.
Unbelievable!
That's actually a way where you can actually, do really good here.
That's a good draw as well for Chakki, though. He's got the 50-50 on Flame Juggler. Does he win the flip? He wins the flip! Well done. What an insane flip you won there.
Yeah, it's the best target.
Doesn't get much better than this.
It's huge, yeah.
And the definitive Argus on the back of this.
Yeah, because I was going to say, he actually went for the play where
Oh, man. Do we do it again? Do we just 50-50 that Flame Imp? Do we trade into the 2-3 and then 50-50 the Flame Imp? Or do we just try to 50-50 first?
I would trade into 2-3 first.
Okay. Let's do this. You feeling it, Stripe Pro?
I'm feeling it.
You're Stripe Pro stared blankly at the screen. Oh, I wish we had a camo on you on that, those precious 5 seconds.
You might just play both minions.
Sure, you want to play the Zoo game.
And go face at this point.
If you kill the Flame Imp, then you can't kill the Flame Tongue, right? Big deal. And you can't kill anything, because the 3 health minions don't die to the 2-2, unless Argus kills the Flame Tongue. And then you have no good trade in Trump's position.
Yeah.
Flame Tongue numero 2. That'll do it. Yeah.
It's not bad. It's just like going through all these sticky Zoo minions and Death Rattles So far by turn 5, he's gotten like 7 damages so far.
Yeah.
And now he's out of cards and loses those cards. It's not actually looking that bad. A lot of stuff like that. Flame Tongue helped so much. Without the Flame Tongue, would have completely ran his team. But I would definitely not Doomguard here. Voidwalker's too good against 2/2/1s.
Yeah, I think it's hard to not take the trade, and you're forcing worst case scenario. You force the shaman into using his hero power, which means if there's something like a Doomhammer, I mean he'd play it here anyway. Most of the time.
With the Flame Impier, I definitely like this better. I wouldn't actually be too surprised if
he discarded it.
Like he doesn't even play a Flame Imp, although.
I mean, I might consider not playing Flame Imp.
If you get a 1-drop, I think if you get a 1-drop, you don't play Flame Imp.
Even if I do, I think I'm too scared. I am really worried about Flame Imp. Like, at 17 health, this is unreal.
That's sick.
Chakki just saying, yep, I'll shrug and take that one, get myself a 4/4, 200 to 5/7, lose the Flame Imp, don't take damage, and...
Alright, Chakki, you win.
Maybe not. Maybe Trump's got...
Too lucky.
Ooh, okay. Ping face? No. Well, the question is, do you think you can win if you race? Like, does killing this 2-1 help you in the race enough?
Yeah, killing 2-1 definitely helps you in the race.
But do you
he's
win
even
it,
considering
right?
Lava Burst. I guess you probably can't Lava Burst the 4/4.
No, you'd have to. I think if you do anything here, it's going to be ping 2-1 and keep the Lava Burst for face. And if you do it now, you can also get Doomhammer and still do it. You have the option of Lava Bursting the 5/6 next turn, depending on what your draw is. And if he life taps, he's putting himself even closer.
I think because you have 9 damage on board and
that
card didn't go for if he is Lava Burst, I mean it definitely tap. But at this point, since your most important resource is actually not really card range but time, because your minions are doing damage every turn for free. So I actually probably not tap and just try to have high life.
Well, there must be a charged minion in there, right? There must be a charged minion. So for all it doesn't do right now, this Flame Tongue may do a lot later.
I think it's just too slow at this point. You need the Doomhammer this turn, do it 15 before you die.
Leroy Jenkins is a surprising amount of damage with this, though. So if you Lava Burst now and you pick up Leroy off the top, you deal 8. Not quite enough to live and win.
14. Yeah, I mean, if Chakki doesn't tap, even Leroy doesn't.
You might have to Lava Burst this. Then it's the only way you... I mean, that's a lot of damage lost, but Doomhammer at any point is very dangerous.
So definitely Implosion my Creeper here.
Yeah.
Just to get more damage in.
I like it. I don't think there's going to be Elemental Destruction tech in that deck. It's been seen before, but not of recent memory.
That doesn't even really matter that much.
The Bolt, oh man.
So you do have the option of going for the Doomsayer.
I think at this point it's back to this again, right? Back to this.
You can't top deck enough damage.
If you do it, and it's an owl. No,
this is all these games are coming down to always the YOLO kill Shredder for Doomsayer.
Yeah. So in the words of Purple, his problem with the metagame is that implosioning a Shredder is a viable play. This is, however, a tiny bit more all-in. I wonder though if there's any way Trump can let's assume he picks up Ancestral Knowledge into a Lamborghini into Elemental Destruction.
Malgus. Well, I mean technically, if he just Reno here to 30 and then
Reno, we've seen no dude. This is the right deck.
I mean, if it works, it works, right? Reno into Ancestral Knowledge, into Elemental Destruction, Lava Shot.
I love it. I want to see that day, happening. This needs to happen. Yeah. Somebody needs to do it. Maybe you. I don't know.
One day.
I believe in it.
One day when I have time to play a million games.
Yeah.
I'll make an aggro deck, all aggro, and then 5 control.
There was a Zoo Reno that kind of sparked in popularity. A Zoo. There was a Reno Secret Valley too. It kind of sparked up out of nowhere, and it was a little bit.
I've seen it.
It was fun to watch.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we'll be taking a short break, and we'll be back with the next match. That was relatively quick. A lot of aggro decks being played since Lepronome, Abusive Sergeant. A lot of the very good cards there, don't have matching stats. Well, they happen to be very aggressive for the most part.
I think this is the format that's most close to constructed. I'd say out of all the deck building challenges we had so far.
Priest gets to play.
Yeah.
Aggro decks get to play. The only one that kind of gets punished is
Druid, I think.
Druid. Is probably the only class because they're Druids of the Claw and Ancient of War, and Ancient of War.
It's very hard to play combo with no cycle.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Life is difficult when you're a Druid. Who am I kidding? We'll be back after the break, guys. Stay tuned.
Hmm.
Yeah.